going to discuss about a little bit of template function and template classes, and then if time permits, I'll discuss the exception handling. Otherwise, I'll discuss that thing in tomorrow's class. Okay, so just a second, give me 1 second. Okay, so this is the general outline of today's discussion. So till now we have found different things in C++ and in object-oriented programming. So template is a very special thing. So you just tell me, can you do this thing? If I want to say swap two integers, say int a and int b. If I want to swap this, and if I write a function called swap, say I'm passing the reference of a and b to it, and so there is a variable t. So t is equal to x, then x equals to y. So what is the code for just to swap between the thing? This one, this is the code, simply, isn't it? Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, I'm asking you something. Please answer.
Ma'am, actually, are you showing something?
Yes, yes.
Actually, it is not visible, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Just a second. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I want to swap between two integers, so is this function is right? This one, say I want to swap two integers, so I'll be sending swap a and b. So will it work? This one?
Yes, ma'am.
So now say there are two float numbers, say I and j. Now I is having say 2.3 and j is having say 5.6, something like that. And if I call the same swap function with I and j, will it work? In context of C++, this one is working. So this one will it work?
No, ma'am.
C++ is a strongly type checked language. So if this thing is float and this thing is float, even if we do upcasting, or even if we do typecasting, then also it won't work. Actually, if you pass I and j, and if typecasting happens, it passes 2 and it passes 5, not 5.6 and 2.3, isn't it? So this will not work. Similarly, if I say, if I have two characters C1 and C2, and with the same swap function, if I pass C1 and C2, will it swap these two characters? If I have C1 is equal to say A and C2 equals to B, even if I convert them to binary, will they work? The reason is same. It will not work, as C++ is a strongly type checked language. Okay, so now the question is there anything, or is there any possibility in which we can write down a single function and we can have these three things, like we will be calling whatever be the type of the variable we are passing. Whatever be the type of the variable we are passing, it must work. Can we have that type of thing in C? Like a general function, can we have it? Please answer me.
No, ma'am.
Why? Don't you have seen macros? So what happened in macros? If I define something like hash define swap int a b, something like that, and the function, will it work? Rather say just a and b, not int. So have you tried macro in C?
Yes.
So if you have tried macro in C, so if I have this kind of definition, macro, so when the macro call get replaced, say I'm calling swap a and b, which is integer, or swap I and j, which are floats. So if I have something like that, so during which time this call get replaced by this body? Compile time or runtime, or before that? Any idea?
After pre-processing step.
After the pre-processing step. After pre-processing, pre-processing done when? That is before compilation, isn't it? So this code, whenever this call is there in the code before compilation, this code will be replaced by this body. Similarly, this code will be replaced by this body. Okay. Macros work fine. You can call macros and you can have any data type. So let's see one example. So here is one example. Okay. So using macro. So what I have done here, I have taken a macro definition max, where I have checked x and y, which one is maximum. If x is maximum, then x is it returns x, otherwise y. Okay. So this is the body of the macro. Now you see, here I have created two variables a and b. Okay, they are integers, we are passing that, and 5 and 6. Okay, we are passing 5 and 6, and the same macro is called for this one max, f1 and f2. So this is f1 and f2, both are float. Okay, now in the next call, what I have tried to mix up the integer as well as the float. Here also it works. And at the last, I have tried to increment a++ and b++, then we call the max function and print the a and b after doing this max. So what happens, you can see from this code, from the output, you can see this one works fine. This one works fine. This creates 6. Okay, and the same function, this one also works fine. We are providing 2.5 and 4.5, so it is returning 4.5. It is printing 4.5. And even when we are mixing them, this is integer and this is float, even we are mixing them, this is sending something like this. That is 5 and 4.5. 5 is max. Okay. So now next is this one. So what we are expecting, we are expecting A will be incremented, B will be incremented, and then between them, which one is greater will be returned. So if I increment A, what it results? If I increment A, what it results?
6.
This results 6, this results 7, and then 6 and 7 is, this is fine, this is working. But now A and B, this one is acting something else. Even if you are getting the value of A here 6, but you are getting B as 8, which is not desirable. This is why this is happening. Actually, what happens when we use macro, they exactly replace this function, this body, they exactly replace this body. So in case of this max AB, so when they replace it as A, B, then A, B. For F1 and F2 also it replaces exactly. F1 greater than F2, then F1 and F2. So in place of this max A plus plus and B plus plus, what they are doing, A plus plus greater than B plus plus, then A plus plus and B plus plus. So what they are doing, even if they are checking this thing, they are not ending the operation there. Okay. So they does this thing twice. So B is incremented twice. That's why B is not 7. B is 8. Okay. So this is one instance. Sometime I have run it. So I have got this one. Okay. And sometimes even if it is not getting correct answer for A also, even if it is not getting correct answer for max also. This is why, because this preprocessor or the macro, this macro body get replaced during preprocessing. So there is no type checking. Type checking is done by whom? Type checking is done by the compiler. But the body replacement done much before the compilation. This body is replaced much before compilation. So there is no type checking. So due to that, macros won't work properly. Even if you want to achieve some generic coding. Okay, now there is one term I'm using, that is generic coding. So my objective is, can we create a piece of code which will work for every type of data, for any data type? So that's why we should learn templates. Templates are a generic or general piece of code which supports almost any type of data, any data type. Okay. So are you getting my point? Is it okay? Are you getting this? Why we cannot use macros? Hello? Please answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so this is the reason. Even if we are happy here, but that thing made us sad. Okay, so we cannot use macros. They sometimes becomes very, they act weird sometimes. There are some side effects. Okay. So what is the solution? So the next solution is that we will be using templates. So templates is actually, it provides you a method in which you can replace the method, replace the function, or replace the code with any data type. It supports any data type. Okay. So see the code. So for writing template, first this line, if you involve template in your program, you have to write this line, this template, then class and the template name, that is Z. We have written Z here. Okay. and in place of any data type, you replace that thing by z. So you can see here, previously this max is just changed as max function. Okay, and we are providing, previously we are providing x and y, so we declare x and y as z. Okay, so this is how we make this function. We define x and y as z. So this is the data type. So whenever we call max function, this with integers, this z gets replaced with the integer. So this function call will create a code segment, create a code in the code segment like this: void max func int x int y and this. Similarly, when you call this one, it creates void float x, float y, and this will be the code. Okay. So this also works. This also works. So this is a and b, both are integer. So for them, no extra instance is created. Rather, it will call this function. Because for integers, it is already created. The function code, code is already created in the code segment. Okay. So these function calls, these function bodies, they are known as instances of template function. So they will work fine. 6, 5.6, then this 6, and now this 6 and 7. This A and B, this results 6 and 7. Okay. And this particular line I have left, okay, where I have tried to mix integer and float. So are you getting my point? Is it okay? Is there any confusion? Why we should use template and how we can use? Yes, right? You understand this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me the probable solution if I want to do this thing? What can be done? This involves two different data types. But what happened here? We define both as z. So it will not match. Z will be either int or float. Cannot match. So what can be the probable solution? Any guess? Yes, any one of you have ever
We
used?
can define two templates.
Yes, we can define two templates. Yes, this is the solution. So what can be done? So this is actually this type of error it gives. So this can be done. So in place of this max function ZZ, we can have two templates. So whenever we have more than two templates, more than one template, we will just separated them by comma and we'll write that. Class Z is one template and class T is another template. Okay. So you just find I am here using only functions, not have used any class. Okay. So let us first understand the template function, then I'll show you how to include them in the class. The procedure is same, just you need to make some syntactical changes. Okay. So here what happened? We are defining x as z, t as y. Now, even if we are sending both integers, z will act as integer, t will act as integer. But this time, if I send z as integer and f2 as float, then also they will take that form and this will work. Okay, so this is the solution. So here also, how many function bodies are called? So here three function bodies are called, three different function bodies are called. For AB, one integer function body is called. For float, one integer function body is float function body is called. And for this one, another function body is called. And this A plus plus and B plus plus, this one will call the same instance. This one, this function body, that is called for this A and B. Okay. So these function bodies are called template instances. Okay. So every time we call a new function, means a new we use a new data type or combination of new data types, it will call a new function, new instance. Okay, so that you remember. This is how templates work. Okay, so template keyword is a request to the compiler to treat the function as a template function, and template code is a skeleton code. That means we are providing you a format. Okay, so it is not instantly compiled until and unless there is a call to the template function. And when the arguments are given, whatever arguments are passed, depending on their data type, the compiler generates a suitable object code instance of a function from the template. Okay, so every time we call a function, one code will be generated. This F1, F2, this code will be generated. So this is called an instance of the template function. Okay, and if I have similar type of function call, so it finds a copy and it executes the same instance. Okay, so you understand this thing. So we have used different data types like int, float, character, etc. We can also create our user defined data types like classes. We can also create them. Okay, so this Z and T, they are the symbols that are used for templates, that are used for replacing the data type. Okay, so you understand this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today in class, in the lab, what you will do, the same, I have posted one assignment in Moodle. You see the assignment. That assignment actually the same assignment that you have done. Okay, with classes and all you have done. You have to convert the same assignment with templates. Okay, just you need to replace. Now how we will do that? How we will do that? Normally, whenever you want to use template functions in your code, you no need to write down at first this Z, class Z, class T, template, all these things. Okay. First, you need to write down a normal function. Then you replace that function body with the template symbols. Okay. So how we can do that? You see, here is, I have included one example for bubble shot. Okay. So here what we are doing actually, you see, this is the max function is used here. Okay. And this template is also used here. So this is the macro, and this template I have used here. I have included it. And in the bubble shot, you see, this is the example of bubble shot, how we are doing this. So what are they? This int, this I, J, what are they? These integers, they are used as indexing. For index we are using it for bubble shot. Okay, so, and this one, this X, what is this X? Any guess why this X is used?
To swap.
For swap. So this is a temporary variable and it is of type integer. So if I want to have an array of 5 integers, the first one, array of 5 integers here. Okay, so this must work because of this int I and j, they will be doing this indexing one. They will be taking care of this indexing and all. And this X is used to store the temporary data and to swap the data between the integers. So you are providing AI, AJ, in all AI, AJ, you are providing integers, and this also is an integer, so you can save the integer here and swapping is possible. Now, if you want to swap floats, or if you want to short this array, float array. Okay, so will it work with this definition? Will it work? So what we are actually passing here, we are passing the starting address of the array. We are actually sending the starting at the address of the array, and this is the size. So this is the address and this is the size. This is the size. So for int, it will work. For float, will it work?
No.
No, because the x will not support. Even if we are passing first address pass is okay. Size is also always integer. This is also okay. Int I and j indexes are integers. That is also okay. But for x, it won't store any float value. During swapping, it must store some float value. Otherwise, how will the swapping will be done? So it will not be done. So what we can do here, we can use templates. Okay. So how we will change? We will change only those data types that are required to be changed. Okay. So this is the how we will change the template function. You see, this function contains template. So we will write down this one. We'll change the starting address type. It is always integer. That means it is pointing to an integer array. But whenever it is pointing to float array or character array, it must change. That's why this t is changed. This is kept as it is, and this x is changed. I and j is kept as it is. So are you getting my point here? So whenever you do this, you pass integer array, it will act as integer. If you pass float, it will act as float. It will sort the float array. Or if you want to sort the character array, it will do the same with the same piece of code. So can we tell that we have achieved generic programming? We have a generic code which can sort any type data type, any type of arrays. Yes. So are you getting it? How we can do this? So first we will simply write down one function, and then we will see which portions need to be changed to template to support the generic coding. Yes, you get this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now the only thing left is we have already used the classes functions. So can we have a template that is used in the class, that is class and function definition? Okay, definitely we can do that. Just we need to have that logic is same. We will be writing down the whole class, and then we will be just changing the portions that we need to be changed to template for support generic programming. Okay, so let us see one code, that is this stack code. I think this, yeah, this one. So you see what are the changes I have done here. So first we have this class template stack. Okay, so the same stack class that you have used. So in the stack class, what are the different things that you are doing? You are checking the stack is empty or stack is full. You are initializing first the different function is there. Private function is empty, is full, and the public function is we are creating some stack, and we have a destructor for this, and three functions, that is one is to push element in the stack, one is to pop, and other is to display. So the function remains same. You just recall, if you have a stack of integers, then what you will have, what it will do. If you have a stack of integers, it will just have this as star, this int star a, that points the starting of the stack, and then these are all okay, top and size, and this a n, this you can keep as integers. And in push, what you do, you provide some data to be pushed in the stack, isn't it? So if you go to the function definition of push and pop, you can see it. So what we do, we put some integer here for integer stack, or the pop returns one integer. So in place of this, whatever it is push, the data type is changed as T, and here also data type is changed as capital T. T is my template symbol. Okay. And I want that the size of that stack to be 5. So that's why I mentioned this thing. This also you can mention. Other than this in the template, you can mention this. Okay. So you see the different definition of the member methods, member functions. So this is the class definition. In the class definition, we'll start with this template, then symbols that are used in the class, and it will be like normal class, only we will be replacing this thing. And the member function definition, you see all the member functions are defined here with this this line need to be added. Okay, template that this T is used here. Okay, and this is the syntax, the return type of the function. Then we will be writing down the class name, and within angle braces we'll be writing down these symbols T and T that are used in the class, in the function, and then normal colon and is empty. So previously it was like we are just writing down, this line is missing. Previously, whenever we just define explicitly the member functions, we'll write down the just the return type, then the class name, scope resolution, function name, and return type, and the argument list, and the whole body, isn't it? So now this particular part is added. This particular part is added. Okay. So now this particular part is, sorry. So this particular part is added here. Similarly, for the next one also, this particular part is added and this line is added. For every function, first we will write down this template, whatever template we'll be using in the function, and the function definition change with this thing. And the other things are same, inner things are same. So now you see, whenever we define a new stack, what we are doing actually, here this definition, here this definition, we are providing int x. So this is fine, this is the new size. Size is x, size is always integer, so we can keep it integer. We need no need to change it as template. Then we are just mentioning the size as x, and we are creating a new table t size. So previously, how we are doing this? A equals to new int 5. So this creates an array of, this creates a stack of array of 5 integers, isn't it? So it creates an array of 5 integers if I provide int, but now we want to use this not only for int, but also we want to store float, character, etc. in the stack. So we'll replace this int as t, this int as t. So this is the only change, you see, this is the only change in the code. This one line, this line, this line, these are the syntactical changes, and this is the only change, logical change that you do. See the other things, see the other definitions. So this is again, this particular part is added, and in push, we want to push any type of data. It may be int, it may be float, it may be anything. So push, this one is t, this one is t to support this. And other things are same. We are checking is full and all these things, and other things are changed. No template, nothing symbol is used. So are you getting this? What are the changes we need to do? With the normal program that we have done till now? Is there any confusion? Please tell me. You understand this thing, na?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So today in lab, you do the same thing. You create this stack class, okay? And try and see that whether you can have a different type of stacks, different data type you can store in the stack or push or pop from the stack. Okay, so this thing is the task. And if someone of you can do something more from the assignment, the stack is also there in the assignment. You do from there, stack, queue, etc. And also other programs are there. I have extended the date till 8. You can do this, okay? So is there any confusion till now? You can tell me. I'm sharing the slides as well as these things with you in Teams itself.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So let's stop here today. ERC. Oh, okay. One more thing I forgot to mention. Okay. So whenever we pass, I forgot to mention the main. Okay. So this main, whenever we call in main, what we will do? We will previously we used to do stack, then star P. But now we will include this line similar to this line, similar to this one TT. Will be providing this line. Okay. So the class name, that means the object we are creating. Here we are creating this object S1 and that is of int type and size is 2. So S1 is an integer array of size 2. Okay. Similarly, SF is float type having this is float we are mentioning. So whenever this one is called, this will call this one, initializing this one, call this one and create the stack accordingly. So this T stands for now float. Here it is float. Similarly for character, it is character. Okay, so two character arrays are stored, SC and SS, and we call them this one. So you see, with the same push, S1 dot push, we are providing 10, that is an integer, but SF dot push, we are providing 20.5. So same push function is there. This one same push function is there, but it is acting for int as well as for acting for float. Okay. So this is your task. These are the simple changes that you need to make in your existing programs, the programs you already have. Okay. In your assignments, you have done all the assignments. So the programs you already have, you change them with these templates. Okay. And show us in the lab. Okay. So I'm stop here. Anything else you want to discuss or any query?